Yo guys, how you doing? We're back for the last time on the Amiga Warglaive. It's been a really fun little adventure on this guy. It's me, Skeptic. Thank you very much for that resub. 3 months. Yes. One more down. Let's go, bro. Happy days. Thank you. I've done a little bit of work on this guy off stream. We've done the little window here at the top, and we've done the eye as well. The arms are still not glued on. Tony Spruce, thank you for that host, and Des, thank you for that one earlier on in the stream as well. But we've done the eye, we've done that. Like I said, these currently not properly attached, not glued down. We're just gonna take them off again in a second to give them a little bit more easy access to some of these areas we need to highlight. But otherwise, we're looking tonight at just sort of highlighting some metals, getting those finished. So finishing touches to the base, and then we'll crack out those MiG ammo weathering powders, and we'll get this guy properly embedded in on the base he's on. He's been pinned down, so you can see just poking through the base just here, there's a little bit of a paper clip. That's been drilled through his foot to help keep him solidly on there. There's another one here that doesn't quite go all the way through, just a nice strong support. Let's get to it. In the chat, we've got Muad'Dib. How you doing, bro? Hope you're feeling okay. Ex-adventurer. Genghis Dong. Brilliant. Crooked Grin. How you doing, bro? No worries. Drunk Mystic. How's it going? Snake Pliskin. Abandons Lost Arms. Craig DeKel. Toonie Spruce. Main Unit. And Viking XDK. As well as, of course, Des and Toonie Spruce. Thanks again for those hosts. Right, let's get to it. So we've got some details still on the guns. We've got some silver highlights to do. Let's just get that out of the way first, and then we can move on. You're blue. Brilliant. Sons of Rolo, what up? Toonie Spruce, if you happen to be there at the moment, please relook that lesson. If it's not something that you can do in the normal times that I've got advertised as part of the lesson, as always, let me know, and I will try and sort you out at a time that's good for both you and I, so we can make sure you don't lose out on that lesson. Glass Joe, how's it going? Des, it's all good, bro. You commit pretty fully. I had to ban some bots. Hopefully, I didn't ban any people as well. So we'll see. We will see. All right, just gonna come in here and just hit a little highlight underneath each of these cells. We're not gonna do any heat scoring. Or at least the plan currently isn't doing any heat scoring. Maybe we will. That would be an interesting test for these Pro-Acryl paints. Can we turn them into glazes that actually go on transparent? Completely unlike their transparent paint line. Could be fun. Gumballina, how you doing? I get every other Saturday off at the moment. Okay. We could do before the stream, perhaps, on a Saturday. Or we could do straight after the stream. Either of those are possible. Straight after the stream is probably the easier one, to be honest. But whatever works for you, pal. Honestly. It's my fault your lesson was missed, so we'll make it right. So 2 letters on the call. Hey, it's all good, dude. It's not a problem. Good. Actually got some motivation to paint. Fuck yeah, Gumballina. What gave you your motivation? Was it the raft of new releases that GW is throwing out right now? Ooh, mama. There's some very long-awaited stuff coming. I think, seeing as the Psychomancer goes on sale, or goes on pre-order next weekend, so Saturday coming. Seeing as that goes on sale then, and we know the Chronomancer is in the Kill Team box, I think the only Necron thing still to be released, obviously Flayed One's also in that Kill Team box, is the Technomancer. Which there isn't a new model for. So, unless they're going to come up with something that we haven't seen yet, unlikely but possible, for the Technomancer that doesn't have the Canoptech Cloak, then Dark Angel's Combat Patrol is rubbish. What fucking planet are you on? You're not from this world. Skeptic Glaze like a madman, awesome. If you want to be destroyed in the whip, just like put roast me bro on your post and we'll be super critical. But I'm sure what you've done is great, mate. Don't worry. Sod Necron's DA codexes. Right, firstly, I don't know anything about the Dark Angel's codex because there's been no real info out about it. You might not even get to keep your permanent transhuman. You know. Turns out I had a few odd models from a past commission still. The wife tidied up my desk and put commission models away and didn't realise it's for a friend, but still like, oh shit, son, that sucks. Gives me a 6-blade guard to add to my growing pile of shame. Nice. Nice. I'm not buying any Marines. Not for myself. Not yet. As much as I want to. And we'll get the ones out of the kill team box because obviously we're picking that up for some Crons as well. And those little bits of Necron scenery which will go quite well with the Necron table. Doing a do over the spring. But yeah, Dark Angel stuff. The Combat Patrol's great. That Combat Patrol is a really good value box. It's a not easy to build Redemptor. It's a full kit of Inceptors. It's a full 5-man, admittedly, unit of Intercessors that are not easy to build. And then it's a Chaplain. Now, admittedly, it's the Chaplain with the pimp stick, which is a shit model. It's no good, especially in comparison to the Indom Chaplain. But for someone that's playing, that's still good stuff. Yeah, the value is still solid, absolutely solid. And Tim, you Des, everyone else is shitting on it, can say it's a terrible box as much as you like, but I'm sorry, in my esteemed opinion, you're both incorrect. Plasma Scepters are brilliant. Sure, there's only 3. You're going to want to buy some more. But you didn't get 3 in a normal box anyway. So that's no big deal. Redemptors are epic. Yeah, there you go. Nick, Redemptors are amazing right now. Redemptor Dreadnoughts are epic stuff. Would I want it with a plasma cannon? I'm not sure. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably still take the Gatling. But, you know. Yeah, you get the Dark Angels upgrade sprue, which is kind of a neither here nor there thing for me, but sure. Is it a box that I would buy to flesh out a Marine army that I had, whether it was Dark Angels or not? Yeah, 85 quid. So that would be, what, probably high 60s at Element? For all of that, I'm so down. I am so down. Is it something that's good for someone that's a long-term Marine player? No. Is it aimed at someone that's a long-term Marine player? No. So, okay. Remember, the Combat Patrols are replacing the Start Collecting boxes. The Start Collecting boxes have always been good value, and there's always been some good units in there for people to spam in their army. So whether it's like the Lehman Russ and some troops, or a Dune Crawler and some troops or whatever, you know, they're good. But the Space Wolves and Blood Angels one, I don't think they're much better value. Not by a lot. There's like 140, 130 quid worth, I think, so between 120 and 130 quid worth of stuff in that box. So I think that's solid value. And let's not get stuck in the trap of like, oh, it's not the best thing out there, therefore it's crap. Because that's also that's flawed thinking. So yeah, I think it's a solid box, and it's a box that I will probably at some point end up picking up myself for the Marine Army that we're starting. So we've got other Space Marine releases as well. So we have the Primaris Land Speeders, Storm Speeders, I think they're called, not to be confused with the Land Speeder Storm, I guess. I know a lot of people have been waiting for them. I remain to be seen if they're worth it or not. I'm a bit confused about the weapon options on one of them because I haven't read that entry in the codex at all. Because the model hasn't been out, so I haven't had to worry about it. But what's this 3-barreled melter gun? What's the deal with that? That comes with a load of missiles, and it looks like a whirlwind missile launcher. And then you've got one that looks like a Las Talon, and a load of missiles. So I need to look at the rules to work out what the fuck is going on with these things. But hey, they're out. I'm hoping they're a bit more useful for people than the Gladiator tank, which I have been told by many Marine players is about 30 to 50 points more than it needs to be. But yeah. The Flayed Ones releasing like this sucks in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, mate. It's not ideal. The Flayed Ones are going to get their own release in a box, same as the Chronomancer. I have no issue with GW doing stuff like this because it's good for them. It drives sales, and to be honest, the Kill Team boxes have always been decent value. For me, I don't care specifically because I'm starting a Marine army, so I'll have the Gravis Heavy Intercessors, and there's a lot of people that are probably annoyed about this from that side of the equation. I'll have the Gravis Captain. I love Gravis Marines. I think they look great. Same as I always like Centurions. I love the big fat chunky Marines. They look awesome. To quote Valrak, I love it when it's a bit thick. It gets my juices going. I'm not going to say I'm that passionate about it, but let's just paraphrase the man. So there's some unfortunate things going on with that release from the perspective of we all kind of just want our boxes, plus. But for me, it's okay because I only get both. If you're not going to, I appreciate it's probably not ideal for you. People want the box to be Assault Intercessors, Eradicators, and Heavy Intercessors, and are pissy it's not. I mean, yeah, basically. Yeah. Because they want to get all of their brand new units super cheap. Game Switch, of course, aren't going to do that. That's like shooting yourself in the foot. Landspeeder are good. Yeah, for Raven Wing, I'm sure. As long as you get your strats. Yeah. What vehicles are good to add to a beginner's Dark Angel army? Impulsors. Dreadnoughts. ATVs, but they're not really vehicles. Hex Gecko! Thank you very much, bro. 6 months gets you a new badge. Happy days. It's not a big deal, but 5 out of 20 of per box is not too much use to me. Yeah, I want 20 as well. But I'll get those 5, and I'll probably end up buying another 5 off of somebody else that I know isn't going to use them. And then I've only got to buy 1 box of 10 when they're released in proper boxes. So it's annoying, yes, but it's not. Grimguard, to be fair, I'm actually kind of excited about the terrain element to it because, as I said earlier on, and I think I said on Saturday as well, I've got entire tables worth of Necron terrain to paint, and those little generators and stuff like that is really useful to me. But one set, not 4 sets, you know. It's a bit shitty, but good marketing. There's a demand for mods that comes off worse for some, but often these sort of boxes are decent value. Exactly. They're always good value. I can't think of many boxes like this that haven't been at least good saving, if not a decent saving. Definitely Impulsors. Definitely Impulsors are very, very good. I think I'm just going to leave it the same mess in non-dude with too much demand, too many scalpers, and lots of grumpy folk, but hey-ho, aren't both asked. Look, you genuinely can't preset anyone at the moment. And I mean anyone when it comes to toy soldiers, because people are buying hobby stuff to hobby because they can't play games, and Games Workshop just can't actually keep up supply right now. The thing to remember about these boxes is none of it's limited, and you don't need any of it now. Yes, people want it now because that's essentially exactly how it's going to be, right? But you just need to chill a bit. Yeah, fair Des, but like I said, it's 110 quid worth of stuff that you're going to pick up from Element for 60 something. I can't be mad about that. I just can't. I think there's absolutely no reason for anyone to get salty over that either. Forget the Kill Team box. I can fight in Necron stuff. I want the rules and Marines. Cheers, mate. To be fair, like I said, well, I'd happily take the flayed ones off your hands because I'd like 20, but I'm not going to need 4 Cryptex, for instance. What are they called? Not Cryptex. Well, they are Cryptex, but what's it called? Chronomancers. There you go. Mr. Cops, the abstracts, great. They screws, but they all have those. Yep. Yeah, exactly, Grimgar. So I'm going to get more out of that box than the average hobbyist that just wants it for the minis in there. So for me, it's really good value. I appreciate that for other people it's not, but you know, our Centurion squad, Assault Squad worth adding to my army? No, not really. Right now, if you're a Marine player and you're looking to min-max your army list to get the most bang for your buck, then Vanguard Veterans are there, and they are extremely brutal close combat units. The thing to ask though is, what chapter are you playing? Is that for your Dark Angels? Because they're really just not good for you. There's nothing currently released that lets us know how they will synergize with your army. So for now, I wouldn't make a big purchase like that. DA can't take Vanguard Vets. How do you know? Till your supplement comes out, you don't know. You know. Oh, that rules in the Marine decks. That says you can't take Vanguard Vets if you're Dark Angels? That's weird. Comradeson, how you doing, bro? Not mad, I think just need another 5 incested in curse to make it similar value. If you don't even want to do it, that's their choice, but not for me, especially like Redemptors and Interceptors. Yeah, that's fine, mate. Look, everyone votes with their wallet, alright? If you think it's good for you, get it. If you don't, don't. But it is still definitely good value. Did you get any snow? Yes, mate. I was in Cheltenham this morning, and it was about 4 inches deep. Yeah, it could be the Death Guard box. There you go. But the Death Guard box got Typhus in it, and so therefore wins Rule of Cool straight away. Because I love the Typhus mini. It's epic. Very Deathwing stuff, same as the Wolves, Apothecary, Sterling, etc. Okay, cool. Like I said, haven't read a lot of the Marine Codex, so. We thought Pablo Escobar's playing crashed in Fit Wolf Arc. Brilliant. We were going to go walking in Pitville, and then realised very quickly that I don't need to break a leg walking in the snow and ice. Ugh. No snow in Kent. Consider yourself lucky, mate. I actually hate snow. Because I can drive in snow. I grew up in the countryside. Therefore, we grew up with lanes that didn't have gritters and stuff going down, so you learn how to drive in snow. But most people, when it snows, drive like bigger fuckwits than they already are, and make my life very miserable. So, fuck snow. Right, that's all the silver highlights we need to do. And go on to the... how's the commissions going? Mate, we've got... There's no room at the inn, I'm afraid. Got a load of admech in front of me. Got call that we'll be able to do on stream tomorrow, I guess, on the household stream. Start painting call, and then we can get him done over the next couple of evenings, hopefully. We've got robots in front of me, and then we've got Blood Angels behind me. We've got Custodes Dreadnoughts behind me, and then it's all aboard the Harlequin train. So, yeah. You have the exact same issue with the snow. Yep. Yep. Fuckwits. Snow UK is overrated. Yeah, it really, really is. Unless you live somewhere where you get, like, this, it's not really snow, it's just an inconvenience. So, if you haven't bought all the Marine boxes, it's a hell of a good value starting point for a Marine army. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Saw someone take a drift down a hill into 2 cars off the side of the road in the video. Brilliant. Drove my Jazz first time in the snow and ended up curving a roundabout in my village. Nice. Nice. Maladeus! Holy shit, dude. It's 18 degrees C outside, but extremely here to warm you up more than a mug of Fenrisian ale. Damn, man. Well, look, I am on water today, so I'll drink to that. No, the last time I drove in proper snow, it was a choice between walking 3 miles in it or doing my best to drive it. And Stroud is very hilly, and I used to live in a place called Slad, which is right out in the countryside of Stroud. It's very, very rural. It's where Laurie Lee, the poet laureate, grew up, basically. And so decided that I would try driving it. It went to plan until I got stuck about half a mile from the front door, and that I was fine with. I could deal with that. That's no issue, because that wasn't an extra 3-ish miles of walking. Oh, it was minus 18 degrees C. I was going to say, like, if it's 18 degrees C, how the fuck are you complaining about the cold? Now that makes much more sense. Much more sense. Driving it, no issue. It's everyone else. 500 quid excess on our vans if you have a crash. Can't guarantee it's something that way anchors in front of me and lose it and I hit them because of my fault. Yep. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Face full of beta sheet says units not aligned in different countries. Nice. Sarah, how are you doing? Good to talk to you at the weekend. How's things? And let me know when I can put that order through. I need to buy them tufts. Everyone, let's give some love to Sarah. Boss not having me saying that. I bet it wasn't, mate. But it's, you know, it's your call. If you don't feel it's safe, and that's essentially what you're saying is, I don't want to be in a car accident, admittedly for reasons of finance rather than reasons of your own health. But you're essentially saying, I don't want to be involved in a car accident, so I'm not going to drive in today, because I think if I drive, I might be in a car accident, therefore it's not safe for me to drive. Then that's him done. I told him you should waive the excess for the day if he wants to be in. Yeah. Sarah, you absolute superstar. I will try and get that in tomorrow in that case then. He goes about 5-6 inch on the roads, but cars are clear to tracks with their wheels. Problem was at a Robin. Oh shit. I remember the first time I rode my motorbike in the snow. Getting from Stroud to Cheltenham along the A46, you go down a very steep hill. In places, it's kind of okay in most, but in places it does get steep. And there's a bit where it goes down that's probably about the sort of midway of how steep it is. You're looking sort of that over the course of a mile, right? So imagine a mile from finger to finger. It's not that bad. At the bottom part of that hill is a 90-degree corner, and there's just one of those shit barriers in front of you. And as I'm sort of heading down the hill, I'm thinking, right, I'm in one set of tyre tracks, and I need to be in the other set of tyre tracks to get around this corner properly. And if I don't make it into those tyre tracks, I'm probably not going to get around this corner at all, and I'm probably going straight over that barrier. So that was interesting. That was a fun moment. I don't drive in snow if I don't have to. I just call in work. My wife on the other hand drives in anything, but she has to. She's frontline that fair. Mate, I'm not surprised. To be true, totally not surprised. My car's been rear-wheel drive. I once spun off the road at 30 mile an hour going uphill on a straight bit of road. I was in a queue of traffic. You want the box side fourth wasn't good enough, but second would be more useful. Fucking hell. Use feet as skis. Didn't have to do that, but it was, you know, it was almost a good day to wear the brown trousers, you know. Say your boss didn't say trouble, reasonable excuse, boss can't come in. Yep, absolutely. Ginger Steve, how you doing, bro? Also, please tell me you've received your bigature, because I've heard not one fucking peep out of you about that, and I sent it last week. And considering it's now Sunday, you should have had it for most of a week. Driver manual. Yes, driver manual. Worked out in Alberta for about a little more than a year a while back. On my way to work in the morning, I had a 1 hour long drive, and on the snowstorm and post snowstorm days, you couldn't count the amount of Chargers and Mustangs in a ditch. Brilliant. Brilliant. Fucking hell. That being said, I totally have a Stang. Totally have a Stang. You have? Excellent. Yeah, it was attached. The sword wasn't. That was wrapped separately. The shield was attached. To be fair, they were both only put on with the smallest amount of super glue, just so I could break them down for transit, but I figured the shield would hold the way I'd put it in. That's a shame. That's a shame. Hopefully everything's okay though, no issues with the paint job. I need a new series to watch. I'm on House of Cards at the moment because I never finished watching it. But we're still at the bits with Kevin Spacey, and I feel a little uncomfortable watching Kevin Spacey, knowing he's a nonce. Had a Dodge Challenger out in Florida. Oh my god. Awesome. Thought it was cool. A little bit of chipping, but it's... Oh, fuck. Chipping where? Oh, super annoying. Sorry, dude. Fuck. Not bullying on the car type, but unfortunately a lot out there who drive the cars and reinforce the prick driver per se. I'll bet. I'm a big fan of American muscle cars. That's one of the best things about being in Cuba, was seeing all the really, really old cars, beautifully maintained, and sort of put together and held in place by hope, basically. So, on the body and back of the shield, it's fine. You remember my story of the Thunderhawk I bought and had commission? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So not that, then. Either that, or it's just maybe your luck with commission work. You're like a weird bad luck magnet for it. Charger definitely has my favourite body type. Fair. So, obviously, being an Englishman, I've got to give it to the Cobra and the GT40. Commander Wild! Thank you very much for that sub, dude. Really appreciate it. 68 Chargers the one. Fair. I own a bad luck for posted painting, so I have to learn to do it myself. Absolutely, bro. Have you booked your lessons in for next month? Random pause. Also, everyone else that is a student or master Patreon member, let me have a look at my lessons for next month. I think we've got quite a lot of slots currently. Wow. Can I see next 30 days? Yeah, currently I have literally one lesson booked in February, so go and get your slots booked. If you need the link to the calendar, please just message me on Discord and I will send it out to you. Go on Friday, need to book others. Cool. Shane the Rose rocking all shine next to Duke's Hazard. Yep. Cobras are beautiful. Yes, they are. I got to drive a AC Cobra. I have no idea what year it was. I was 16, and as much as I loved the look of the car, I had no information about it. It belonged to a friend of my dad's, a guy called Steve, who drove me most of the way to my school prom in it. And then we got to the drive of Pucker Up Hall, which is out in Tewkesbury. And he said, I've been told that you can drive if you promise to keep it under 30 and stop if I say stop, then you can drive down the driveway. Now we're on private land. My God, that was like a religious experience. It was... the noise of that thing. It's weird knowing when you're 16 that you've literally driven the best car you're ever going to drive ever in your life already. You can go stare at a genuine 64 48 Shelby Cobra and let's drive it. I'm not surprised. Main unit, yeah, man, put it in general. Meant importing Mustang, so his left hand drive, give me a lift once, it was so wrong, starting to patch it. Yeah. Yeah. Craig, good stuff, mate. How's the new gym going anyway? I hope that's all doing alright. And you said you were getting your permits and stuff to work. So hopefully that's all kicking off. I'm going to paint Gotrek before I consider lessons, probably summertime. Nice, man. We might have some slots open by then. Once the office is finished with and we've caught up on the slight delay that's been caused by the office still being there when we were all told it wasn't going to be, that's caused my commissions, then hopefully I'll be able to open up another slot or two. Probably not too many more than that, but just a couple. So when that happens, it will be advertised in the Patreon members only area of Discord, because I know there's a few people that are Patreons that want to upgrade to student or master, and so obviously it gets offered to them first. So keep an eye on that Discord. If you are a Patreon member and you're not in those Discord channels, please let me know and I'll add you manually if I need to. It's usually just a case of you linking your Discord to Patreon. Especially construction side of things at the minute. Once we can do that breaching the old lockdown rules. Hopefully have all the walls finished this week. Nice, bro. Nice. Let's have a look at main units. Very pretty car. Look at that. God almighty. You keeping it that colour? That's lovely. Look at that nose. It's a cute little face. Quality stuff, bro. Quality stuff. You need a real master. Me be on there as that is so many types of wrong. Hey mate, the other one's Nick. So it's not so much master class as remedial class, but Nick, you need to put your lessons as well, mate. It's a lot of white ink. A little bit, yeah. It's just a lot of white ink spills, that's all. Just targeted. All I'm highlighting this with, by the way, just to keep things nice and kind of neutral colored, is a mix of silver from Vallejo Model Air Metallic and copper from their same line. And it's giving it a very just sort of plain look to the metal. But we need this because of how vibrant the rest of this thing's chassis is. Like all of the armor plates on there, that purple through to turquoise is super, super strong color-wise. So just something to sit in the background is where we need to be. Snake, you're a Patreon. Are you in the Patreon exclusive areas of Discord? Let me know if you're not by sending me a message on Discord, and I will add you manually as a role. Have you already done a video on how to do a good black armor, preferably without an airbrush? I have done a good black armor. It's the how to paint black video that is on Patreon. That's a really, really popular one because that's how I do the black on all my knights, how I did the black on Nick's Raven Wing, and so on. So we do that black recipe on a lot of stuff. It is airbrush focused. If you watch the YouTube video though I did on how to paint white, then you'll see how to get the same kind of blends that I get without an airbrush. It's a little rougher, obviously, because it's not done with a trillion layers of glazing, which is what you'd need to do to get the same kind of smooth finish that you would get with an airbrush. However, it's a good start. It's a solid, like, quick way of starting to get your layers down with a very nice fade. It's not going to win you 1,000 awards at all, but it is certainly going to look decent on the table, and it's even going to look pretty damn good up close. I mean, Nick, you've got that Apothecary now. You've seen it. Bear in mind the Chaplain won an award. When you saw the picture of it, you said you thought that the Apothecary looked better than the Chaplain, and the Apothecary armor was done by hand, not with the airbrush. So, even though I haven't seen it at all, I spent no time on Instagram today. I spend the weekends when we're not streaming with my other half, so I basically don't look at my phone unless I am showing her something on there, or we need to check weather or something before we go for a walk, that kind of thing. Struck Discord message. Yep, cool, good stuff, mate. I'll sort you out. Is the True Metal range any good? True Metal from who? I've used the Vallejo Metal color ones. They're amazing, but they're designed for the airbrush. You can brush them on. We use them for Necrons brushed on, but Not sure if that's what you're talking about. I haven't used any of the Chimera paints. That's not my thing. I'm sure they're fantastic paints. I know a lot of artists that use them that are competition-winning artists. However, I paint large batches of things for commission more often than I paint one-off miniatures. And certainly I want to be able to replicate easily the painting process I've done on a miniature for when the client says, this was amazing and I love it and I want you to do this now as well. And having to mix everything is not high on my list of priorities. That's absolutely bottom of my list of priorities, is having to spend all that time mixing every color I want to use, every blend I want to use from scratch, every single time. If I'm painting a one-off mini, totally fine with it. The amount of control, perfect. But I don't need it for anything else. Marco loves Chimera, yeah. Yeah, he's a big fan, big proponent of theirs. Right, we're 40 minutes in, we're onto the body of this thing. We've nearly done all the metallics. I've realised we've got a little bit of grey trim to do on the sword and the melter gun, but that's fine, that's easy enough to do. By the way, I recorded the eye lens and the window. That will be a YouTube video at some point, because I've got some other gems that I've done. We're going to do a video basically on how to paint any kind of gem / lens / whatever else super easily, using usually just sort of 4 colors. So very limited color palette, but super fast. Looks good. You like your own blend of tusks I now have to replicate? Yeah. I sent you pictures. You know. You're the Baroness of Bushes, the Titan of tuft making, the Goddess of Grass, although I think that's probably taken, that title's for something else. You've got this, Sarah. You've totally got this. I have complete faith in you. And it's not my fault your customer service is so good. Your customer service clearly better than mine, in fact. There you go. There you go. If you ever take the time for a comp mini, would you consider using, would you use scale or something else? Something else. I wouldn't even use scale. I just wouldn't. It doesn't match the way I like to paint. Some of their stuff is great. Some of their stuff is really good. Some of it averages like a dream. But I'm not one to sit here and paint 15 very thin brush layers to get a smooth coat on something when I would just airbrush that shit and have it look magnificent in minutes. You know, I find scale. I'm going to offend somebody here, and I do care that I'm going to offend you, so I'm actually sorry about it. I'm not saying no offense, because there is offense in this. I think people that sit there and praise scale and say, well, I only use scale 75 or whatever because that's a true artist paint. I think they're one of those people that says, like, art must be difficult for it to be good. And that's totally not true. Art doesn't need to be difficult or a pain to be good. It just needs to be something you've put some passion into. That's it. But painting with scale paint by hand is, for me at least, because of the way that I paint, a gigantic pain in the ass. So when Nick and I had a painting lesson, we used a scale paint on the bolt gun and a chainsword of a Dark Angels dude. I'll show you them. This guy. That sword, to get a base coat of Scales Deep Red on that, took 8 coats of paint. 8 coats of paint. However, the entire rest of the Dark Angels commission I painted for Nick, I used a mixture of 1 to 4 Khador Red and Black. And we had 1 coat, super smooth, done. Actually, on the sword, I think it might have been 2. Just to tidy up a brushstroke that got in there. But that's the difference, right? I could sit there for an hour painting a sword that's a fucking chain sword. Not a power sword. Not a cool sword. Just a fucking chain sword. Could do that for an hour, or I could paint an entire mini. And I know which one I'm going to choose. Now, yes, I'm shitting on scale paints. They airbrush really fucking smooth. Beautifully, in fact. Like a dream about warm, sticky things like Chelsea buns and hot, fresh donuts and stuff. That's what kind of dream you've got there. It's everything you want. But I will not sit there for a day brush painting base coats just to say, oh, I used the scale for this. Because I don't believe you need to. Like warm apple pie. Bow, wow, wow, wow. God, I haven't seen that movie in ages. Cinnamon swirls. Oh, I hate cinnamon, but I really, really, really like things like that. Strong cinnamon flavors in like mulled drinks, or in fact any alcohol. I can't do cinnamon alcohol at all. Super strong cinnamon in things like apple pie. No thank you. Just give me some fucking apple pie. But cinnamon buns. And I've never had Cinnabon, which I know is like the US chain version. But that kind of thing, my god, it's so much sugar and it's super sweet. And oh, give me all the cinnamon in the world. So tasty. So tasty. The Big Brother, thank you for the follow. It's good to know that the Big Brother is watching. Hey. Cinnamon, best spice. No. Gumblina, I love the fact that Jay brushed over your comment. I totally missed his comment. Shit. Let me go back. Magnificent in minutes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Magnificent in minutes. That's 3 times at least. Easy. And with a break in between. Sorry, I did read it. I thought it was quite funny. So you don't want Cinnabon. They're terrible. Way too much sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. Okay. Custard donut, grit and jam donut. What? Whoa. No. If that's the case, you're getting the wrong jam donuts. I am watching you. When you have the right jam donut, my god, super good. There is a farmer's market in Stroud that for many years has been voted best farmer's market in Britain. I'm trying to think if they kept the title, but it did win it several years in a row. And rightly so. It's a really, really good farmer's market. Just because there's like some good butchers that turn up there, some good bakers that turn up there. You've got falafel stands, things like hog roasts and stuff like that. Oh god, there's so much good food. It's full of Stroudies, which is its only downside, as far as I can tell. You know, that's it. Big Russ says it's awesome. Wait, you know Stroud Farmers Market? Who took the jam out of your donut? Exactly, Tommy. Who took the jam out of your donut? But they have a little donut stand there, and it's like craft donuts, I guess you could call it. Gourmet donuts. Not like your fucking Krispy Kreme stuff. That is just terrible in comparison to this. They do some amazing, amazing donuts. They do a no too many sprues. You know what it's like here. Welcome to the food stream where we paint. That's the way it is. It's the food stream that involves paint. I haven't even talked to you about my dinner, which was steak that my housemate cooked yet with bechamel sauce. It was pretty banging. I gave him some pointers. He's learning how to cook steak. He's got some time to go. But these donuts are epic. Just wow. Nick, next time there's an event on Atlantic that you're coming to, which will be an amazing thing, because normally when I run an event, it happens to be on your wife's birthday, your daughter's birthday, either of, an anniversary that's important, or something like that. And it's weird how that happens every time I run an event, but you know. Sarah, absolutely not. You need to come down. We'll beat COVID together. We'll team up, smash it out, done. And then you come down, we'll get you some donuts. Sorted. What's the giveaway this month? I'm feeling lucky. Well, we'll get to that in 9 minutes. Jam donut is a craft. You can't compare to fast food crap with these baking care and attention. Yes. I love how we've got half the chat arguing over donuts right now. This is great. Told you, it's the food stream where we paint. That's it, right? Before lockdown, my post client would bring me these awesome post donuts every Wednesday after she cooked them fresh in her work. What's a Polish? Ooh, what's the deal with Polish donuts? That could be fun. My favourite donuts come from a local bakery. Screw fast food donuts. Absolutely. Timmy! Good old Timmy Spruce. Is that a promise, Jay? I'll bring a couple of bags of grill. Right. So, near where Nick lives. I say near. It's about, half hour away by car? There is a Indian restaurant that's a pub that does an Indian grill. And holy fuck, doesn't come close to so good, so good. If you could think of like if you go to an Indian restaurant and you have like a tandoori mixed grill, basically, so all the meat that they put in a tandoor as a mixed grill, it's the absolute best thing that concept could go into, right? And Nick came down during a little break we had where you could see up to like 2 or 3 different people came down for a game. And he picked up 3 of their mixed grills, he said, for us to share. And then he ate them all in the van. I was fine until he told me that, and then I was royally fucked off. So you say, we'll do donuts, and you'll bring grilled meats. I expect more than a whiff of the fucking empty bag if that happens, alright? I've played this game before. Champies. That's it. That's what it's called. Champies. Oh, I can never remember the name of it, but goddamn, the food is epic. Andy the Mad, thank you for the follow, and welcome to the stream. As always, we're talking food while painting. God, super tasty. Those chicken wings. Chicken wings are one of my favorite foods ever. That and lasagna are my comfort foods. If I need soul food, chicken wings or lasagna. Because lasagna is effectively a way of channeling as much cheese as possible from a plate into my mouth. That's how you make lasagna. And chicken wings, I love chicken wings. I can eat mountains of chicken wings. Chicken wings is one of those foods that I can eat, and I don't stop when I'm full. I'm stopped when I'm in pain, and that's a bad thing. You know, gluttony takes over. But wait, curry and garlic naan. Damn, I'm picturing it now. Why'd you have to mention Indian? Garlic naan. For me, always a Peshwari boy. I love that nice sweet almond, and I really like it when there's a few sultanas in there as well. You don't see that very often though. Mostly because I know a lot of people don't like dried fruit, and so it makes no sense for them to put it in for people like me to do when it's the minority. But Peshwari naan, good Peshwari. Chicago deep dish pizza. So I want to make a Chicago style pizza. I've got cast iron pans now, so I can do a proper pan pizza. The only issue is I'd also like to be able to fit into my jeans and not have a coronary. And so we'll wait until we've lost more weight, and that's my reward, is that. So I can put it all back on again in literally one meal. But oi. I really, really want a proper Chicago pizza. You can get them mail order now in the UK. And they're apparently decent. You know. A family naan. Somehow they seal a different curry if you're choosing to each quarter and covered in cheese. What? What? Oh, I want that so much. But I want, like, my own family size naan with 4 different curries in it, so I just eat different curries in naan. You'll be skinny and miserable or fat and happy. I'm not going to be skinny anyway, dude. So Sarah, on that Peshwari naan train, absolutely. I've never had one with coconut in, fortunately, though, because I fucking hate coconut. Coconut is the food of the devil. I hate the feeling of bits of coconut in my teeth. Oh, no. No. Lamb bean topped with onion rings. Onion rings? And a keema naan with mushroom pakoras and pilo rice and a couple of pints of Guinness. Oh, mate. Yes. Like a naan calzone. A naanzoni. Chicken tikka biryani. So biryani is my absolute go-to. Oh, yes. Dino Mine Store, thank you very much for the follow and welcome to the stream. I hope we haven't made you super hungry. In fact, actually, I don't care. I hope I've made everyone hungry, because food is great. Maladeus, I'm with you on the anti-coconut train, bro. Totally with you. I've never had one with coconut in it. It's normally just almond. So maybe you've got a different one. I think that's mostly because if it said coconut, I wouldn't fucking order it. Dinosaur, love those guys. Oh, cheers, bro. Thank you very much. Hey, I'm skinny and super happy, and happy high metabolism for the win. Mate, I had a high metabolism. I find it very, very difficult to put on weight until I hit my early 20s, and I found it very easy to put on weight. By that point, I also stopped wrestling and stuff as well, so there was not a lot of fitness going on. I love my Indian back home saying no, us, the guy just gets my dad and I slosh for free. Brilliant. Put a 20 video to the whip. It technically is 600 pics, but do we count that? Oh, I think you have to lower the frame rate on that one, bro. Like, oh. I'm not sure we can fit it in. Yeah, man, go for it. Go for it. Oh, no issues. It's I mean, no offense by this, but the quality on your video is much higher than the quality on your photos, so it's probably better for you to do it that way. That Abaddon you showed us on yesterday's stream, I think, is a good case in point on that. Nice. Liking this super bright, but still very neutral metallic. Speaking of food, I want to haul my ass back home and shut shop. Nice. Well, look, you have fun. I will see you very soon. I'll try and get that. If I go get a mixed grill, chili chicken, and masala fries, can the pick go in the whip? No, because fuck you. Yeah, I'll try and get an order in tomorrow, Sarah. Thank you very much for your help. 0 out of 10 texture, taste, smell, and chew difficulty. Yeah, I don't even like the taste of coconut very much. Like, any beer that says coconut anywhere on it, that's a straight no. It's going to be bad. Me and Menu might have clogged up the general chat on Discord with cut. No, that's fine. You crack on. It's there to have conversation. So you guys rock on. I wish I could join in. Sarah, take care. It's all downhill from there as you roll once the metabolism goes. Brilliant. Brilliant. 6'2", almost 6'3", and I walked around at 145. Right. You know, 30 pounds for 2026. Right. I'm waiting for the and now. God, no, I remember when I was wrestling, I was burning, easily burning 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day with the workouts I was doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not like Michael Phelps level of shit, but I was training a lot. Weight training and cardio training, so obviously you've got a bit of run around in the ring and jump and everything else. Wrong side of 230 at 445, yeah. Yeah. Hang on, I need to work it out. I am 196. So we're just under 200. That's good. But we're aiming for 180 without like, a lot of fucking around. I have a row machine at work. It's called a bike pump. Brilliant. You're a bike pump. I just watch what I eat. I eat a lot of chicken, I eat a lot of veg. The only real carbs that are sort of starchy carbs I have are bread in my sandwiches. That's it. And I make my own bread. So. You're 216, not bad. Not bad. I was 11.5 stone at 22. I turned 40 this year and I'm 9 stone now. Fucking hell, mate. I guessed pounds. I guessed pounds. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have brought it up. Des, you are an unhealthily thin man, I say at that point. Somebody get this man a pie and chips and then get him a smoothie made out of pie and chips. That's needed. Like Craig sat in the chat trying to work out if his leg is heavier than you. Polly, dude, you're in fine form. Fine form. Considering we started off talking about donuts, I think we're on the right, you know, we're all okay. All okay. I wish I'd eat too. I look at it while I'm buying it. Look at it while I'm frying it up. And I really have to look at it while I'm eating it. It's a sloppy mess most of the time. Brilliant. It doesn't matter how heavy you are as long as you're healthy. That's it. I know a guy, the biggest guy I ever had to wrestle was clinically obese because he was 330 pounds, but he had about 8% body fat. But because of the BMI thing, which is what they measure all that shit on, which is absolute bollocks, he was described as obese. Fucking madness. Is Coal Black still called Coal Black? If you mean... yes. Pro Krill. I couldn't remember the name of the paint that we've used literally all month. Yes. Alright, nearly done these highlights. What we haven't done yet, because we've been so engrossed in talk of food, is talk about the giveaways this month. So, eagle-eyed viewers, I say this every time, knowing that you can't see the shelves very clearly from here. Eagle-eyed viewers may notice the layout of the shelves is slightly different. Coal Black from P3. Oh, yes, that is Coal Black. And you can use that as a replacement for Tire Black. If you add in a little bit of black paint as well. You need to darken it down just a little bit. Stickers in the pocket of my hoodie had past tense. Brilliant. Matter, I mean, someone's got it, right? Wish your £330 mate called Hulk. No, his name was Pete, but he wrestled as Mr. USA despite being Canadian. Miss Half Damage, how you doing? Be by chance? Yes, they are pathetic. Yeah. I do see him at McFarlane's Marine. He is right up here. He's loving life. Is it a stationary fly you got from stream? No. No. So, every month we do many giveaways. We do at least 2 every month. Well, I suppose 3 actually, if you think about it. So, yeah, we do 3 giveaways every month. We do a giveaway for a £50 hobby voucher to a hobby stockist of your choice anywhere in the world. So it's going to be £50 as whatever your local currency might be. So if you're in the States, we'll give you £50 worth of dollars or euros or whatever it might be. So easy peasy. For that one, all you need to do is watch the stream. For every minute you watch, we give you some meeps, which is our channel currency. You then use those to buy raffle tickets on the last day of the month in the stream, which will be Sunday, a week today. Stemarks 13, thank you for the follow. Welcome. That's the one I got from Frog Lane, yeah. So next Sunday, the 31st, tune in from 9 PM, that's the giveaway stream. That's when you can spend those meeps and get yourself... Oh, fuck, I hate it when this happens. This is clogged. Give me a sec. And get yourself that voucher, potentially. Now, if you're a subscriber, you get an extra 3,000 leaps. That's also the case if someone gifts you a sub as well. Don't want to get you missing out. Rocker711, thank you for the follow as well. And also, the Relin, cheers for the follow too. So that's giveaway the first. It's a cool one. It's a cool one. 50 quid worth to spend in your local G-dubs. And let's be fair, next weekend is GW pre-order day as well. So, oh no, it's the day after, because we're going to give it on a Sunday. So you could definitely pick yourself up some of the new releases if that's what you fancy. There's some very cool shit coming out. You could have it for Element Games, Rival Crafts, Frontline Gaming, whatever. Anywhere that does a voucher, we'll hook you up. The other giveaway we do, Exclamation Point Mystery, is where I will paint a mini that is of essentially my choice. I shortlist some minis in a colour scheme of your choice and post it to you wherever you are in the world. Although this one, I'm probably going to hand deliver because it sounds like he lives just up the road from my missus. So I'm going to do a very, 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 very short COVID-friendly stop and drop with this for your tilts if you're down for that. But it will be distanced and swift. So this mini that we're painting now is in fact one of the minis that was given away last month. This was done on New Year's Eve, and as you can see, we don't skimp on the quality of them. This is a pretty cool looking dude, and so yeah, happy days. This month I have now finished selecting, with the help of the Patreon guys who get to vote on the giveaway minis, what minis we are giving away. So every month there will be 2 miniatures at least that you will know the identity of, that you can choose from. This month those 2 miniatures are here. We've got a Harlequin Shadowseer, obviously very, very cool mini, looks fantastic, loads of things that we can paint in terms of like freehand, motley, all that sort of stuff. That's a cool one to paint. The other one is this, Gorzag, Gitstomper and Nickit. So these guys came out very recently, they're super cool, loads of character. So one lucky subscriber gets to choose which one of these that they would like. Now if for whatever reason they're like, actually, you know what, Jay, those 2, they're not doing it for me, they can instead choose the contents of the mystery box. Excuse me. In here is a miniature. Probably. It could be a base. It could be some scenery. It could be pretty much anything. It's gonna be something that isn't just like a pile of empty sprues or a couple of. I did find God. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, in here is something cool. The noise it makes when you rattle it this month is a little bit interesting. Is it a very small rock? It sounded a bit like one, didn't it? It's a cabbage. Probably not a cabbage, but you know. And no, it's not going to be those gloves. Those gloves are fucking useful. Gumbly says, I want to say it's the Imagifier. What? That one just here. So, So in here is a mini. Now, if you are a Patreon member of Video Viewer tier or higher, you get a second chance at one of these 2 minis. So, exclamation point Patreon. Good reason to go over there and sign up, as well as, of course, getting the guides, both the written and video that we produce every single week. Video guides every other week. Written guides every single week, without fail. So that's this month's giveaways. Now, this month, I'm doing something slightly different with the giveaway. Because rather than just painting it to this standard, we're going to paint it as a competition piece. So I don't know which one it's going to be. Out of the 3 miniatures, though, the one that may or may not be a miniature in the mystery box, and the miniatures that you have seen I am going to paint it and enter it into the Alliance, the Amsterdam Battle Brothers Busy Brush Brawl Challenge, where I won. There's a trophy. You can't see it's this glass just in front of that dead Tau head right here. I won first place in their character category in the last competition. So we have to defend our title. So we're going to paint this mini up. Maybe do a slightly more dramatic diorama style base. Maybe paint a backdrop. I haven't done that before. Maybe get on a plinth. These things. Either way, it's going to be display quality, not tabletop quality. That's what we're aiming for with it. So this one is a little different to usual. And this is what I would call tabletop quality, by the way, as a comparison. So, I think it's a single spruce character mini. That narrows it down, doesn't it? I can't think of many that are made out of fir trees. So that narrows it down quite a lot. Too many sprues I saw, bro. I put my head in the way quite a lot. There's a camera in the way. If you want, I'll take a photo of the shelves and put it in Discord. We can do that. You guys can see the goodies that are on offer for future giveaways, perhaps. Just bear in mind that not all giveaway minis come from the shelf. I've got a cupboard next to me. I've got a chest of drawers here. Drawer number 2 is the drawer of shame, and in that drawer is fuck knows what, basically. So there's a lot there. Sylvaneth, hey, there we go. Tabletop quality. Meanwhile, we're selling my soul to the devil to replicate this 11 more times. Only if you run that list. This is easy, bro. I literally show you guys every step of the way how to replicate this. We talk a lot about things like brush control, how to get better at that, and how most of the time it's nothing to do with the manual dexterity that you have with the brush, and it's more to do with the paint. You know, I've seen people progress in the whip. On future stream, Lucky Dip from Drawer of Shame. That might be one of the next giveaways. I just reach in and you get whatever I pull out. That's what she said. So yeah, that's a potential prize. How do you know how many meeps you have? Exclamation point meeps. Or meep. That's a drawer I live in, as I am the backlog. Brilliant. The big hurdle will be the blends. Extreme Mate 2, big enough for compressor, etc. My background for summer, I'll get one, I think. You definitely should, bro. Everyone should have an airbrush. They're brilliant. Super, super useful. But things like just choice of colour matters more than blends. Like, if I tried to blend, say, dark red into neon green, it would look really, really, really shit. I've seen Underworld's box and what looks like a store opening model. Yeah, you can. There's the we've got limited edition Chaplain just there. That's mine. That's never going in the giveaway. That's mine. I fucking love that mini. We've got Joven somewhere up there, just at the top. Lieutenant Amulus, sorry, because we are going to say it correctly. He's up there. There's a lot. There's some stuff here that's definitely going in my my own Marine army, which we're kicking off soon-ish. I'm not going to do anything to it, because I know I'm super excited about it. But I'm not going to do anything about it, apart from maybe start cataloguing what I've got, until we finished off the Necrons. Necronathon 2, 28th and 29th. No, 28th and 1st of February and March, respectively. There's no 29th of February this year. We're not a leap year. Unless we really are doing 2020 again. And rather not. So yeah, we've got to finish off the Necrons, and ideally, I want to sell my old Marine army and use the money from that to fund the new Deathwatch inspired Marine army. Main unit, any update on the Patreon lessons? Once, probably March or April, I'll know how many more slots I can fit in. And by then we may even have had a couple of people finish their student package, and we'll see, basically. Right now it's tough because we're still juggling a little bit of office work, and I need to ensure that we are going to run the student or master packages whilst just doing this as a full-time job for a while, to know how much I can take on, because I don't want to take somebody's money and not be able to fulfill my promise to them of basically coaching them through how to paint like me. So watch this space is the only update I've got. We talked about it earlier on. It's definitely something I want to do. I really get a kick out of doing the lessons. It's good fun. It really is. I really like the developmental side of stuff like that. I think I'm a reasonable teacher. On that note, if anyone that is taking lessons from me has any constructive feedback they'd like to give, I'd love to hear it. Just message me on Discord. Can I just maybe do similar to what Frozen did with his Horsehead multi-figure, do a paid raffle for the army? Can do. The difficulty with that is the way Chris managed to do that is how I'm likely to do the raffle for our stream birthday, which will be in April, where we're giving away a painted army. Small army, don't get me wrong, but we're going to start taking votes in February for what Battle Force / Combat Patrol box that we should paint. And if it's something that's small, then we'll also start finding things to add to it. I'm looking at giving somebody at least a starting army for Crusade or similar, so anywhere between, say, 500 and 1,000 points. We're going to paint it on stream over the weekend of the stream's birthday, which is the end of April, and then raffle it off. Rotate your cam. Yeah, I appreciate that's a tough one. I don't have a way of not having it inverted, unfortunately. So it's an amazing idea for a giveaway. I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a really good idea. So here is, to give you an example, some of this is part of my next commission. This is the Blood Angels Combat Patrol box, right? So in here there is some Sneaky Boys, some intercessors, some aggressors, a librarian, and an impulsor. So that's a good start to an army. And that is, let's see, 100, 200, 350, 500, 600-ish points. Something along those sorts of lines. So that's a really good start. Ginger Steve, that's really kind of you to say. Thank you very much, brother. So that's a good start to an army, and that's the kind of thing we're thinking of doing. Now, we're not going to say it has to be a combat patrol box, because unless you play Marines, or Death Guard, there isn't one for you. And that there might be a Drukhari one by the time we do this. So we're not going to say it has to be a combat patrol box, but we'll start getting some votes in for what army to do. That has some version of a Battle Force box, something like that. And then, if we need to, Oh, okay. I'll have another look into these proofs. I didn't think I could, but maybe I have just missed it. But that's what we'll go with. Right, I'm now taking some copper that's only got a very small amount of silver in it to do highlights on all of this stuff. So we've got these bits of metal to highlight as well. And then we've got a few little bits to do on the arms. We've got the gold to do on this chap. And then it's weathering pigments time to get the basing finished. Make this guy look like he belongs in this scene that we've created. Just upside down, that's all the LR reverse light. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we could look at the ceiling for one. Do you teach students that don't have an airbrush, or is it better for what I would be able to get out of lessons to wait to have space for one? So, I can do lessons that don't involve airbrushing, and we can even do like a beginner's lesson on that. However, the curriculum that I've written, which is the airbrush next steps and special effects, obviously the first word there is airbrush, so it's very airbrush centric, because that's how I paint. That's my entire sort of methodology of painting. The way that I paint starts with doing the airbrush work. The next steps, such as doing things like getting all of your highlights and shades on, learning how to do your regular painting of the other elements of the miniature that you haven't been able to get with an airbrush, and so on. So there's a lot of brush work involved in the lessons. To give you an idea, in one of the lessons that Ginger Steve has had, we did how to paint white by hand. And so he got a little bit of a preview of how the how to paint white video was going to go. And I'll show you the one that... Oh, yeah, I can't show you Steve's, obviously. But if he wants to put it in the whip at some point, he can. But there's a very, very smooth white shoulder pad that you can just about see has a transition from grey down here up to bright white as our final highlight. So this is the Black Templar that Steve and I have been working on. He's got one that looks pretty much the same as this, except his doesn't have this little extra bit of gold paint that we've managed to get here on the fucking thing. We even did a little bit of wet blending on these little buttons and stuff. So there's all those kind of elements that go into the lessons, but they start off with a foundation of wet blends. Foundation of airbrushing, because that's how I do my commissions. That's how I do all of the things that I've done that have won me various painting awards for either just a straight competition or best army or whatever. It all starts with that. That's the way for me. And airbrushing is fucking fun. It's so fun, because you get instant gratification when you're airbrushing. If you're sitting there doing brush blends, like this for instance, yeah, this is a brush blend. You start off, and then you go through quite a lengthy stage of, God, this looks like shit. God, this looks like shit. Oh, why am I fucking bothering with this? Let's just start again. This is shit. You go through a lot of that. Yet, with the airbrush, that stage is much smaller. There's a lot less of that particular, oh, what am I fucking doing this for? But there's also a bit that comes much sooner of, God damn, that looks cool. You're doing some OSL. Oh my God, that looks amazing. Airbrushes are a great tool for a great many things, but for me, they're one of the most fun ways to paint. And there's a lot of guys in like the SN chat specifically that are very not anti-airbrushing, but they have a view of airbrushing that is, well, you know, I use it for my base coats and it's such a pain in the ass to use, I never use it for anything else. Right? They're just not investing the time in the tool and learning how to use it. Because when you learn to airbrush, you are learning to paint from scratch again. And that's a hard pill for some people to swallow, especially good artists. It's like, well, all my stuff looks like shit now. I mean, it will. You've got to learn. Airbrushing is the best. The best! This is crazy, Yanked. It fucking is. Maladess, I once thought I'd never progress past the hand coordination with an inbred donkey, and after getting the hang of airbrushing, I now have color transitions on my models I thought I'd only see from afar. Absolutely, bro. But you could do that by hand as well. Like, being good at airbrushing will make you good at using the brush, because you'll start to understand how transitions work. You'll get your way through a lot of the theory because you'll see it in practice from a different angle. And that's a big help, I think. Mishap damage, you are definitely improving. Not learning, improving. I've been looking at your work on that angel demon lady. You're going with some very subtle skin tones and so on that. It's looking great. Mr. Didn't even know I haven't. I said earlier on I haven't looked at Instagram. I spent the day with my girlfriend, so tend not to look at my phone at all when we're back. That's Sarah, doing well, bro. Blood, sweat, and years. That's the phrase. Blood, sweat, and years. It takes time. Anything worth doing takes time. You know, if it was easy, you wouldn't get anything like the sense of satisfaction out of it that you would otherwise get. So it has to be not difficult, but it has to be something you need to work towards. So, Timmy. It's alright. No, you're good. You're good. I just didn't want you to think I'd ignored you, that's all. I know I occasionally miss things in the chat, and that is my bad every time. But sometimes it's like I'm looking at this and I look up at something below it catches my eye. So just built a bunch of IKEA furniture. Didn't take long. Was it not worth it? I mean, it was IKEA furniture. There's a lot of different answers to that question. Rulora, I think. Rulora, maybe. Thanks for the follow. IKEA furniture. I mean, it's always cost effective. Is it worth the cost that you pay, though? To be fair, this desk that I'm sat at now cost me something like £240 nearly 10 years ago. I've done well keeping this desk going, you know. Maybe Azri, it is worth it. You're just so good at building IKEA furniture. You've put that time and effort in to make it quick. There you go. So you've paid off that dedication. That's what it is. I do have to give all the kudos to you, Jay. Fuck no. It's not me holding your brush. It's you holding your brush. Ginger Steve, what are you doing? Thank you very much, bro. It's 5 gift subs given out by Ginger Steve. Look at all those night heads in the jar now. Let me screenshot that quick and I'll give you guys your meeps before the giveaway stream, so don't worry, you won't miss out. We've got gift subs going to Recess01, Loophole 080, Callum Peeler, Wilbot89, and Sincerest Storm. All of you guys will receive 3,000 meeps between now and the giveaway stream at the end of the month. Can I please get some hype in the stream for Ginger Steve? There's somewhere already liking it. Remember, all of you guys that just just received a sub, because I was reading Kazgan's chat. Hi, Kazgan. All of you guys just received a sub, exclamation point win, and exclamation point mystery, because both of those two giveaways you're now either eligible for or going to be in a better place for. I have my desk for about 30 years. I have had it, made it long. I think I get what you mean. So all my questions are for an upcoming Sons of Malice army. I need to do white and black quartered, but coming late in the year. Okay, cool. And is this what you were asking about the different vehicle options for Dark Angels and stuff earlier on? Then is that your Sons of Malice army? They're going to be Dark Angels rules then, I guess. Right, for anyone that was here last stream, we talked about the way we paint gold using essentially a load of filters that we put over gold. What we're using now for the highlight is exactly the same gold that we used as our base coat, but because we've changed the appearance of that gold so much, we can get away with it. Where did I get this base? This base is made by Games Workshop. It's just a normal G-Dubs base. And all of this is terrain made by Games Workshop that we've chopped up, glued on, and then all of this is some Vallejo pumice and a load of Rival Crafts bits. So Sarah at Rival Crafts makes this, and these are the three, right? These are the three. So exclamation point Rival to get a link to Sarah's stuff. And I'm telling you now, you will not get better stuff for your bases than you can from Rival Crafts. Mishap Damage, heading out to watch Aliens 3, have a good one. I will accept that. Aliens 3, very good, very good. It definitely goes Aliens, Alien 3. The other one with the really cool underwater scene. But the other one. Oh, Exploding Fruit. Sorry, I did get somebody else then. Right. These are the three, okay? They do some different sized ballast. The big one, great for things like these very chunky bits of rubble that we've put around the statues and the pillars. The middle one, very good for making sure you've got a texture that bridges the gap between this and this. Playing the Alien RPG. Awesome. Awesome. We don't say that name, Scrublord. This stuff is the absolute finest sand that I'll be able to buy for a reasonable price. It's almost powder. And this is what gives our base an effect that makes it look a lot more natural. This on top of the Vallejo pumice, which is basically fine sand mixed with paint. That works really well as a glue to hold all of this in place on top of that. We are going to use some pigments later on, some weathering powders, and really finish off the base and tie our armiger down into the base as well. We've got to do this bit of gold with a highlight. We've got to do a couple of quick highlights on some black trim that we've got on the weapons. Then we're going to attach those. Then we'll get the mask on and the powders out because I've got a dust allergy, and unfortunately using the pigments does set that off, so we'll get the respirator out and power through. The HR Geiger Museum sounds awesome, dude. That sounds cool. I'm mostly a fan of, frankly, the baddest chick on the planet, Sigourney Weaver, playing Ellen Ripley. And Aliens is awesome. It's such a good film. God, I'm going to have to watch that again soon. It's easily up there, one of my all-time favourite sci-fi films. We're looking at Aliens, Predator. You got to call Predator a sci-fi film. It's a newer film, but it's on the list. Ready Player One. I love the book. I love the film. Oh, I so love the film. Would you call Marvel movies sci-fi movies? Interesting one, that. The AVP stuff is terrible. Sigourney was the first female lead role in an action movie. Yes, she was. Was she? Red Sonja. Event Horizon's really good. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I don't think you're correct on that. Yeah, you said action movie though, in the original statement. If you meant sci-fi, then you might very well be right. I don't know. Red Sonja was definitely fantasy. That was a great film. AVP books were good. The books were fucking brilliant, actually. And the graphic novels, they were stonkingly good. But the films were definitely not. Quite definitely a bit pants. Right, now I'm going to take some gold and some silver and just do a quick final highlight. So the best thing about doing this, rather than just grabbing another gold off the shelf that's brighter, is you're still following the path of highlighting it with the same colour, so it flows naturally through the highlights. Barbarella, yes, of course, it would have been. Would have been. Love the film too. I might complete geek out when Iron Giant fought Godzilla. Yes. Yes. Mecha Godzilla. For me, there's so many bits of nostalgia in that film. Being someone that was born in the 80s, some of that is just like, oh, gotta remember that as a kid. Gotta remember that as a kid. Gotta remember that as a kid. There's a lot of that feeling in the film. And so many different things that sort of jump out throughout it. Like, oh, yes, that was brilliant. I remember that. Or, oh, God, I never got a chance to play. Insert whatever here. And it was very, very well done. The CGI and the special effects were, as you get with a lot of blockbuster movies these days, incredible. So I love it. It's one of those films that I watch again and again and again. Just at random intervals, I just watch Ready Player One. It's a good chill out film for me. Metropolis, the first sci-fi film ever, has a female lead. That was the one that was shot in like sepia tones, right? With the moving city. It was a very, very, very long time ago I watched that. 17th of July. Tilt's wet. Sorry guys, like off movie talk, real talk a second. It's black and white. That's it. Yeah. It was reported yesterday legislation has been quietly changed to allow councils to close things like they are now until July 17th, haven't we? But that to me makes it sound a little bit like it's up to local opinion, which makes it sound like it's going to be one of those things that if you are in an area that is just catastrophically, apocalyptically fucked, then it stays like this. If it's improving, then it's not. But I guess we'll wait and see. To be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised, because the government stated that they believe they will get the vaccine to everybody as an adult that qualifies for it by August. Right, we need some bright warm grey, and we need some dark warm grey, which should be part of this set as well, which is this one. I'm going to do these two little bits of highlights on this. I'm going to attach these guns. We're not going to do... sorry, Steve. Sarah's gone. These are... I'll see if I can find a link. One sec. Unfortunately, I don't use Sarah's website anymore. I have a trade account which I use instead. So under the store, basing materials, sand ballast and aggregates, and why can't we display more than a billion? Yeah, it's there. So here's... There you go, mate. Somewhere in all that, there you go. Do me a favour, if you go to it via that link to buy something, just work out what it is, and then go back to the site through my affiliate link, if you can. TV series in development, Tales of Mega City. I've heard of that, and I can't wait. I watched Dread again the other day, and it's still fucking brilliant. Carl Urban is an absolute boss in that. Jake and I post it up in Discord. Sorry, mate. Post what? There's a thing to check when you're likely to get the vaccine. I'm not likely to get it until mid-December. Oh, okay. Fuck. It is what it is, basically. My other half got her first shot last weekend. And it didn't give her any significant side effects, but she was quite... So she suffers from, unfortunately, a few different things. Microfibromyalgia, or fuck it, whatever. It's a complicated word. Basically, your joints just really fucking hurt. And they degrade over time. So to combat that, one of the things you have to do is work out gently. So she does a lot of yoga. We do a lot of walking. She does a few like HIIT like workouts and stuff, but gently. And she suffers from migraines quite a lot, including I can never remember it. I just say hemorrhagic migraines. That's not quite right, but it's something close. And so she has to be careful. And so she had the vaccine, and she had a very bad week where she was very in pain and so on. No, not cluster migraines. That's a different thing. HM is always her abbreviation for, which is why I know it's hemo something. It's a blood thing, basically. So yeah, she had a bit of a bad week last week with that after the vaccine. Now, because these things happen and she gets flare-ups every now and again, we don't necessarily think it was the vaccine that caused it, but of course you don't know for sure that it wasn't. And she's got her second shot, I believe it's towards the end of next month. So fortunately she's got it. So that's one person that I probably, bear in mind this is a mutating virus, and so therefore all bets are off. Somebody do me proud here. But it's one less person that I can probably catch it off of, and it also keeps her safe, which is what I'm more worried about. But she works for an organisation that basically helps educate people with various physical or mental disability in real world stuff. So not necessarily like teach them maths or whatever, but teaches them like life skills and so on, which is a really noble thing to do, I think. Let's not cluster migraines. Yeah, I've hemifleg that one. Thank you. So yeah, I can never remember it. But it's her HMs is all we call it. But hey, she's good. She's safe. Polly, sounds like your parents are sorted out. But possibly they already had a high antibody count. Well, actually, no. From April to now, it would have gone, wouldn't it? So yeah, not ideal, But let's hope. I just want to fucking play toys again. That's all. I just want to play Warhams. That's all. God. Just let me have a tournament, please, for the love of all that's holy. There are people, there are nerds whose dreams I need to shatter. Break their spirits. See them driven before me and hear the lamentations of their women. Now, admittedly, these are 40k players, which lamentations of the women is potentially a little tiny amount of a exaggeration. It's probably more their mum moaning at them or an auntie, but you know, some uni people I know had a house party last night. Fucking cunts. Sorry, I try not to use that word too much on air. Fluto! Z, how you doing, bro? Good to see you again, my man. Enjoy the rest of the stream, bud. Head to bed. Catch you again soon. You take care, man. See you in a bit. People having parties and stuff like that, it's just... You selfish pricks. Selfish pricks. Come here! We don't have tourneys, they just require standard Imperial Guard rebreathers and commissar oversight now. Well, that or your tournament ticket costs you an additional £800. So RTT at mine, admission price is £813.50. Get the last round for a cook. Mate, I want to cook for my mates again. Yes, fucking fire up the oven, get some banging food going out. Couple of beers or so each, and then play something like Zombicide or you know, something along those sorts of lines. Chill out, have fun, shoot the shit. Those are the things that I miss. What I actually, on top of all of that, if I could sort all of that out, I just like one more thing. Just one more thing. I'd like people to remember that words like thank you exist. Because Ginger Steve, ! Rival, or Tufts. In fact, Jaeger's got you covered. Cheers, bro. Like we're getting close to doing TTS tournaments, we've had players from all over the world. If we still can't play tournaments by fucking April, I might have to. We might have to do TTS games, and I hate it. I hate it. But I'd like, going back to what I was saying, I'd like the word thank you. I'd like people to remember that it exists, because whenever me and my missus go out for a walk, despite being the kind of guy that, certainly from a distance, looks like someone that might cause trouble, despite that, I'm always the one, in fact probably because of that, I'm always the one that gets out of the way. So I step off the path into the road after making sure there's no traffic and so on, obviously, to enable somebody to go past. And I can count on one hand how many times in the last week that I've done that someone has said cheers. I would totally recommend Black Plague, Salsera. That's the one that I've got. We played it today. It was loads of fun. Me and Jackie played it, and it's great. I bought it myself as a Christmas present, and I love it. There's going to be a new version of the modern age one coming out, so definitely don't buy that one because it's going to be replaced. But Zombicide Black Plague is super fun. There's a character called Anne, who's a nun, and imagine like Sister of Battle, who literally becomes a blender Oh, it's so cool. I still see people going in supermarkets without a mask on. Unfortunately, the big Sainsbury's near me has now started putting somebody on the door. And if they see you walking there without a mask, they will stop you from a distance. They'll point at you like, sorry, you can't come in without a mask. Put your mask on. And I overheard somebody saying, "Oh, I don't need to. I'm immune." And they were told very, very bluntly that it doesn't matter what they think they might be. They're not going in the shop without a mask on. Management receives the right to admission. Do one. Count on one hand as well. If you're actually living in Norfolk though, so count on one higher than brilliant. Yes, very much so. I love how people are atting Timmy Sprues, not Timothy Sprues now as well. This is brilliant. Janelle says, same here. You can't go into a shop without a mask on, yet people still walk into shops without masks on. It's ridiculous. And I hate it. Then I also hate stupidity. That's what most of this is caused by. So. Like zombies, ever watch Kingdom on Netflix? Oh, that's the Korean one, right? I think I meant to, and then I haven't. I pay into support my mental health issues. I'll say thank you if you help me. Dana-chan, much love, bro. This shit keeps me sane. Honestly, keeps me sane. Especially through lockdown. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the streams to give me that contact with people. So, exactly, Janelle. Same. Then there are ones that wear a mask below the nose. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's going to do about nothing. Oh, I've got a mask on. No, you haven't. Not really. Shadow Trace 104. Cheers for the follow. Right, we are nearly done. We've got that pigment work to do, which is going to be the last thing we do. We've got a few little tiny highlights left on this. And then it'll be finished. So we're going to use some MIG ammo powders. You can get these from Rival Crafts. And they're brilliant. I used to use a mixture of Cromlech and Vallejo and so on. And I still will, because there's a few colours that MIG don't do. But I've got quite a lot of their line. And they're really, really good. They're also quite cheap. And whilst I will always happily spend money for quality, if I don't need to spend money to get something that's good, then even better. And this is definitely in that vein. So can wholeheartedly recommend. And I'll get to chat in a second, so it's going to pass quite quick. So student might ask why I can't work on a bike for too long while wearing a mask, hence why I do everything at the back. When I shop floor, I have forgot sometimes and go and take all the parts. I can understand that. But you get some weird looks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My comparison: wearing a mask on your nose about affects wearing my trousers when not hanging out the crotch. I mean, you might get different. So, Ginger Steve, I use this set. So, scale ballast, 1 to 3 mil. Just the normal, I don't even know what that's called. Scale Ballast Brown Blend is the name of that one. And then this sand, this is the fucking winner. Particulate Sand, Fine Beach. They come in a variety of different colours, but this is the money right there, that last one. And you put them on over pumice, one at a time, starting with the highest, the largest mass to the smallest mass. Shadow Trace 104. First time I ever see a streamer paint a Warhammer figure. Also, I'm pretty new to this Warhammer stuff. Do you have any tips for starting out on painting models? Oh, loads, bro. Loads. It's going to sound extremely self-serving, but hang around the stream. We stream 4 days a week. The next stream is actually, on this channel, is Tuesday, but we do stream Mondays on a different channel with Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming. And everything we do, we try and do with a very educational sort of viewpoint on it. I want people to be able to watch the stream, learn how I do things, so that they can take some of those lessons and apply it to how they do things, and ideally, overall, improve as a painter. The biggest advice I give to anyone, Jaeger, you madman. Giving out a gift sub to the new guy. Absolute superstar. Let's get some love in the chat for Jaeger, who is supremely generous. While I note this down to give Shadow Trace his meeps another time. There you go. So, yes, essentially watch the stream. Because a lot of what we do starts to come up. We're unfortunately about to do something that is definitely not a beginner technique, but there's no reason why it isn't. It's just normally you don't get to doing the sort of stuff we're about to do until you've been in the hobby for a while, because it involves you buying materials just to do one particular job. And there's usually a lot more of a shopping list of stuff you have at the very start to do all kinds of jobs, so whether it's paints, brushes, and so on and so on and so on, right? Teacher's Prep. Timmy Sprues. You'll get detention. Disrupting the class like that. Things to remember when you are starting out that are universally true, I feel, is don't compare yourself to other painters at all. It doesn't matter what I've painted, or what some Golden Demon winner has painted, or even what your mate has painted. None of these things matter. Take influence from it, by all means. If you think, that looked really cool, I really liked, I'd never thought of putting like purple, green, and orange together. So yeah, I really like the way it came out, and that's what I want to do. That's fine. Take those influences. But don't sit there and go, well, my work's not as good as Jay's work, because Jay's been painting toy soldiers for over 20 years, and I'd be gutted if your work was as good as mine, if I'm honest. I mean, don't say that to be mean, but I'd like to think that all that time spent has served me well, you know? So only compare yourself to yourself yesterday. Every day you're painting, every time you're picking up the brush, think about, well, you know, here's the model I did last week. Here's the model I did last month. Here's the first model I ever did a year ago, by the time you get there, right? But that's all. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. So that's my first bit of advice that I think is universally accepted. And everyone will give you that piece of advice. But I've got another piece of advice, which is actually much, 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 much more important than even that. Unless you're someone like me who does this for a job. I'm a commissioned painter, so I literally paint for money. That's in 4 more days. 4 more days. That's the difference between me working this as a hobby and this as a full-time job. It's 4 more days. Unless you're someone like me that does this for a living, what I really, really want you to do when you paint is have fun. Painting is great. For me, it is this cathartic, relaxing thing that people pay me to do, which is a miracle. But I love painting. If I need to decompress, if I've had a bad day, I sit and paint. And I want you to be able to have the same thing. So, whenever you pick up a brush I want you to just have fun with what you're doing. And to anyone that says, you know, painting must be serious and so on, I challenge that. Artists like Roman LaPlante, who have won pretty much every kind of award that you could hope to win in the miniature painting side of things. Akarian TV getting a sub on 3 months. Haven't been around here in a while, but every time I come here, I enjoy the streams and always learn something. Thanks and keep it up. You are a legend, mate. Thank you very much. Let's get some love in the stream for Akarian getting their 3-month subscriber badge now. But what I was saying was, look at people like Roman, who win all of these prizes, all of these contests and so on, yet still paint for the joy of painting, the love of what we do with some bits of plastic and resin. Look at people like Marco from Not Just Mecha, Marco Frizzoni, who is one of the most infectiously happy people I have ever seen on YouTube. I watch all of his stuff, and some of it I've watched more than once. You know, be happy about it. Don't let it stress you out. Don't let it piss you off. Enjoy it. Keep doing it. You'll get better over time. Ask questions, especially here. You know, I'll answer anything. Some of the questions I've been asked as well, you guys know that's true. I think that looks pretty good. We've got the gun to put on the top. But yeah. Those are my 2 big tips. When it comes to actually painting, like I said, stick around. Hello, guys! Any question? What's your favourite colour? Black. I know, technically not a colour, all that shit, but I don't care. So, black or yellow. There you go. Which is why so many of my minis are painted in hazard stripes. So, Cruise Control! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, dude. Right, there we are. Tilts. That is your Armiger. He's got still wobbly arms, but we're not going to bother gluing those in, so you can pose him right out like that if you want to. Show off the sword. I really like that sword, and that was just brush blended as well. Marco live stream, retail stream. His wife is starting contractions, about to give birth. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine that. Do you dream of painting after a big commission? I don't dream, actually. I don't know if that's healthy. I know I have dreamt, like in the past. I remember having dreams, but I don't remember having a dream at all in about the last 15 years. I've had a few nightmares in that time, so I must dream, but I literally don't remember any dreams at all. Right, he's not done. He's not done. We've got one more step. It's an important step. And for this step, I am going to have to put on the Giganto mask, because I don't want to have horrible sneezing fits and stuff for the next 2 days. It's not fun. We're going to grab some track rust, some winter soil. Let's try this one. Some Europe Earth. Here comes a dull coat. No. We've given him a coat of varnish before we did the metallic highlights. So, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I know this is less than ideal as far as the audio goes.
Can't wait to beat this model in my list. It's never going to happen, dude. So you're going to have to wait forever. Literally forever. Good lord, that's a big improvement. Just put this glove on nice and tight, Gumbalina. I told you all many times, I have a mohawk to draw attention away from a face, and the beard to cover the rest of it. So, right, we need a kitty brush, of which I have many, so you can see her beaten up, right? Can I use your instructions in the Patreon black armor for my Death Watch or any of this gives black armor special thing? Absolutely, definitely can, mate. That's how I would paint Death Watch. If you look at Damien Pedley's Death Watch, his is done exactly the same way, but by brush blends, not with the airbrush. But he and I, bear in mind we came up with these techniques by ourselves. You know, we've both come up with our own way of doing it. It's nice to see we've both got a very similar version of it. Give us a Bane quote. I was born in the darkness. You merely adopted it. Right, pigments. This is basically paint that people haven't put medium into yet. Which means it's this really, really super fine powder. See that? Yeah. So what we're going to do now is going to take some of this on our really, really shit brush. And then we're going to attack the miniature with it. So we start stabbing this in. So we're stippling, basically. And this will definitely sit in the recesses, but it'll also sit on the surface as well. Now we might dislodge some of our basing material when we do this. And that's fine. You know, that's not an issue at all. Yeah, Damo, Heavy Metal Damo. Got the job yesterday. Yesterday you could find out, in fact. He applied for a different job before. I don't want to tell anyone what it was. But if I'm honest, he was horrifyingly overqualified for it. Which is why I don't want to tell anyone what it was in case they know the person that got it. Because it's quite a small community we have, basically. So, Lurker reported in. How you doing, bro? Plank Walker, what up? And this is a much better fit for him. In fact, I'm pretty sure that during his interview for the other position, they'd made up their mind that he was not going to do that job, but they wanted him for this job. And I can't tell you why I think that, because well, I can't. I know a lot of people in GW. I know some of them in management. Not many as I used to, because I don't work for them anymore, but certainly there's a lot of people with a lot of clout that I still know, and I hear things from people that know that I know those people. So it's, yeah. Painted by an Heavy Metal painter now, not just Golden Demon winner. If I had to choose between my work being painted by an Heavy Metal painter and a Golden Demon winner, I know which one I'd choose though, bro. He's got to sit the rest of his life now painting fucking boxes around stuff. That's the only downside. Tilts, don't do it, mate. Don't. It'll kill your love your hobby. So working at Games Workshop sounds like the best job in the world for any hobbyist, right? It's like, yeah, I get to talk about toys all day. I get paid to paint Warhammer 40,000 stuff. Yeah. No. You get paid to deal with people and their shit all the time. You get paid to deal with way more stuff than you're actually trained to deal with. And you get underpaid to do all those things. That's the problem with working at GW. Certainly that was the problem for me. I worked there, and this was 2006, right? My salary for the year in 2006 was 11.5 grand, which is nothing. I made more than that as a chef, working 90 hours a fucking week, and if I'm honest, I was a lot fucking happier in the kitchen. Glorified Nanny sort of covers it. You're basically a childminder, a counsellor, a therapist, a salesman, an artist, an instructor. You've got so many different hats you have to wear working in GW retail. If all you care about is getting some cheap toys, then sure, go for it. You have to pass your probation after being there for several months before you're allowed to use your staff discount and stuff. Sarah, definitely a good time to pop back in. We've just been talking up your MIG ammo pigments. We've been talking up your particulate basing, the new stuff. And I believe Ginger Steve has either just made or is about to make an order as well. So Steve, if you've got any questions, here is literally the woman to ask. There you go. You wet the pigment first? No, you see we've got this, we're going out of this onto this. If you wet it, right, here's the deal, okay? And there's a lot of people that disagree with what I'm about to tell you. And frankly, they can fuck themselves. If you put a powder on a miniature like this, and bear in mind, I'm now painting it onto flat armor panels. There's nothing holding that in place other than static, right? Just made, thank you. No, thank you to Ginger Steve. Supporting only the best people. This makes a mess. So that's the first way we get a load of excess off of this. Here's the second way. Clean brush, downward stroke. Yeah, locate that in the recesses. So this is powder painted over a completely flat surface. That will not blow away. It will not just fall off. It will be something you can rub off. But if somebody's doing that to your miniatures, tell them not to fucking do it. In no uncertain terms. But this will stay on all of this really, really well. I have done this on my own knights. They have gone on a plane 6 times since having the powders put on, and all of the powder is still on the miniature. They have been through, let's say, 150 tournament matches in the last 2 years, because bear in mind we didn't play any tournaments last year, and they still have all their pigments on the miniature, and that's on flat plastic. So you don't need to fix them. You don't need to piss about with alcohols and thinners and fixers and all these things. You genuinely don't. Just accept the fact that you're going to lose a little bit of pigment every now and again, but over the course of years it will still be on there. So I know a lot of people that will not trust me on that, regardless of my track record, experience, and you name it, and they doggedly refuse to apply pigments the way I apply them. But I also think their stuff doesn't look as good as mine, because as soon as you wet this, it goes from being a pigment to being a paint. And if I wanted that particular effect, I wouldn't go through all of this trouble. I'd just paint it. This gives you a different dimension because it changes the texture of your base, especially, to something that is very, very much a natural looking base. If we look at this now, this looks like mud. It looks like dirt. It looks like dust has formed and fallen. And that's what we want. I don't use a spray booth at all. I accept the fact that I am going to make a mess on my desk. I deep clean my desk.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I deep clean my desk every single week. Hoi. But again, I am someone that paints pretty fucking constantly. Oh, big red mark on your nose now. Timmy Spruce, you take care, bro. So yeah, I paint a lot, therefore I have a setup that is very much... see, even pressed down my thumb on that and it hasn't come off the base. Right. I am not going to use Pro Black because I decided finally I actually prefer Thramar Black. Coal Black still looks a little grey to me, whereas this looks black. So we do the base rim, and then we're going into the whip. It is 20 past 11, so it's going to be a later finish to the stream. And so we will probably have a gloss over a little of the whip, sort of speed through it a little bit. So !whip or !Discord, go and put your pictures, 3 or less, into the whip, and we can have a chat about what you have done. Trying to explain one of the reasons my missus watched Zero Mile films. You paint is hard to try that. How many moves I just summed up? 22? Maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. Is that out now? Is that started? Because I don't have Disney Plus, and frankly, I'm not going to get Disney Plus just for one series. But what I might do is wait till it gets to the final episode, and then get a trial or get a month's worth of membership to watch it. Because I love the Marvel stuff. It's my favourite thing. Whoa. But there you go, look at this base. Finish it off with a nice black base rim, because the black base rim helps to snap everything to focus. And he's done. We've got some tufts to put down, which I'll put on while we're doing the whip. No base is complete without some tufts. And then at the end of the whip, you'll see him completely finished, ready to be given to tilts in person on Wednesday. Oh wait, no, it depends on how long it takes for the rival craft stuff to get here. So next week, we'll say. It is a 4-year-old girl as a princess. Not with blood, only by attitude. Is it the whole series? Or is it... I know sometimes they do something like 3 episodes and then they don't do any more. It's just 1 a week afterwards. So... Direct Mystic, I know this for Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I think. The WandaVision one, there's a Hawkeye one, and I can't remember the other one. No, I don't know. I don't know. Do you want me to come to you or no? I'll come to you, bro. Like I said, I'm going to be. Oh, Loki, that was the other one. Going to be in Cheltenham for that anyway. So I'm going to grab some tufts, let that dry, and we will go into the whip. And use those. We're going to use. In fact, I can't use those because those are for you. Chinese one too. I've completely missed what you mean by that. Right, whip time. Whippity whip whip. Whip whip whip. There's some cool car photos there. That blue car is fucking sweet looking. Right, whip. Boxes like boxes was pre-stream. Create Kel. Right, here we go. Brilliant. Brilliant. Crace whip entry for this week. All that airbrush control is paying off dividends by the looks of it. Liking it. Right, Psychonia. Work in progress converting them, filing Primaris into an Emperor's Children. Fucking hell, bro. Anyone that does this sort of shit, I'm in awe of. I can't really sculpt at all. So, damn. This is cool. This is super, super, super cool. I'm half tempted to send my Marine back to Frog Lane Studio and ask him to make it a proper Iron Warrior. But I don't know. I kind of want to do it myself. Tim Prodigal Sorcero, how you doing, bro? Have you heard about a new Space Marine chapter? I mean, there's a million of them. So, what's the newest one? Do it. Send it back and paint it. That's kind of my thoughts. Or I might just see if he's got another one. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to leave that one in the box as dumb as it sounds. You know, looks epic though, dude. Great work on the sculpt. Because the next one is, oh, can I have a World Eater Marine? Right, here we go. This is Crazy Ank's Abaddon. Looking sick, dude. That sword in the pink definitely works. I like that a lot. That's classy. Super, super, super classy. I still think you maybe went way beyond the realms of the rational with your boots on the base. I think you've lost some detail there, but overall, this mini is brilliant. I really like the sword. That adds such a nice little element of brightness to this guy. That because he's Black Legion, obviously you don't really get on the miniature himself, so that really helps. Did I miss the last whip with my 4th mini on? I think that was last stream, wasn't it? Did you post a picture of it in this stream? Because if not, then you won't have missed it, because it won't have happened, essentially. We only do whip picks from the stream, otherwise there'd be way too many. Like, way too many, bro. This already takes quite a long time. Try to put some red into his armor with rust. Yeah, I can see it down at the bottom now on his greaves and so on. I like it. I think that's solid. Tilts. Based chainsword with some edge heights. Playing around with layering. Not too comfortable with it. Might glaze over them before I decide to go a different route for blends. Layering and glazing are the same things. Just glazing is layering with thinner paint. So stop getting hung up on these terms, mate. Don't worry about it. Shoulder pad looks good. It's very delineated layers though. You need to blend those together a little bit more, and for that you will need to use glazes and just start to play around with them until it sort of fuzzes out the outsides a bit. But it's solid. It's a good start. Not as good as the leg, but you can work up from there. Sons of Rolo. What is this? This is new. This isn't a Space Wolf. This is cool. This is the Razor Wing jet fighter from the Dark Eldar line, and I think their planes especially are some of the coolest looking things in 40k. The Void Raven bomber is absolutely one of my favourite 40k minis. Super good. That's a lot of Christmas lights you've got on there, though. I'm not sure if every one of those needed to be red or green. I see a lot of these where they're just the same standard armor color, even on the GW box art. So I don't think they all need to be a color. Oh, you fucking madman. Not quite. Right. Each of these gems, with only 2 exceptions, is the inverse of the other side. So there's a red one on this side, there's a green one on that side, there's a green one on this side, there's a red one on that side. And they correlate all the way across. You madman. Now I'm feeling okay about all these gems. Good work. Good work. Fucking hell. MC, base is 8% done and the fast strike servo turret legs done. Right, here we go. Okay, so we talked about this the other day and I suggested putting some basing material on the foot plates of this to help embed it into the base a little bit more. And I still think you should. However, you could probably just do it with powders if you went that route now. I think this looks great. Really good attention to detail on it. You've got some quality base work. Good stuff, dude. Let's see it with the turret on. That's next. Arkyrian. Sorry, it took me a second to get through that name there. I feel like my highlighting is getting neater, but trying to think of a way to make the black highlights look more interesting on these. Okay, so first off, don't use black to paint black. Yes, I know. How do you paint black without black? Right? All rival craft, epic. Get some of them MIG pigments, mate, and smash away like you've seen us do tonight. And some tufts, of course. Gotta have the tufts. So you started off by adding some blue elements into your black. That's easy to see. What you could do is go with a really dark blue-black as your first highlight, but make it a very thick highlight. So instead of drawing a thin line around the edge of your thing, so this is what you're doing. You're doing like the Heavy Metal Star highlights. Instead of doing that, draw a very thick one around the edge. 1 second, MC, and I'll get to you with that. The first thing I'd recommend to everyone actually is track rust. It's just... Sorry, Arkyrian, I will deal with mistake, but this is fucking brilliant. Even on urban grey basics, it adds a little spot of interest, and it's really important you have that, I think, because this is mud, essentially a reddish mud, rather than a like a grey or a black or whatever. Right, so if you were to do a thicker width, not thicker depth, but thicker width line of paint that's very thin. So a glaze of a mixture of blue and black first, and then actually you could do it last, but you'd have to be careful about your grey. So play around with the order a little bit, but then do your highlights. You'll have a gradient that goes through blue a little bit more, and that makes black look really interesting. Look at the chaplain that I did. If you look at any of the black armoured miniatures that I've done in the last 2 years to 3 years, you'll see they go through blue, and that makes that black look really cool, because it suddenly isn't black anymore. Like the trousers on these guys, that's the way that was done. You've got that element of blue in there, so the black doesn't look like black. The stuff on the base was this. It's from MiG Ammo, and you can get it from Rival Crafts. To be honest, this is, if you don't live in the UK, then I can understand you buying something similar to this from wherever it is that you get stuff from. This is all over Europe. It's probably all over the US as well. It's a really good price. It's a decent size. 35mm of this will last a long time. And I cake bases in this shit. You know, I haven't even gone through half of, maybe not even a tenth through this pot. So honestly, this stuff is legit. You can get similar things from Cromlech, from Vallejo. AK do a lot of it, but frankly, I won't support anything AK do. So up to you. But this is top notch. There you go. Sarah's on it. So yeah, with this, that's what I would suggest. Get some blues in there. I've seen a bit of that thick cut of dark blue being done with two afraid try. Also saw a chapter that done an airbrush right. It was. But if you watch the video on how to paint white, which is on YouTube, you'll see how to do similar blends, but without an airbrush. So it's just thin paint applied in stages over a surface, and that'll give you a similar volumetric highlight. Why don't you support AK? Because they released a book that was an art book about how to recreate scenes from the Holocaust, sorry, including how to make your own gas chamber showers, how to get things like, this isn't a direct quote, this isn't exactly right, but it's about as abominable as this. Putting a baby in a fucking bin bag and chucking it in a river, you know, that was the kind of thing that they did in this book. Now it's horrible. Part of me can understand why you would create a book that has a theme of that. A lot of what they do is scale World War I, II stuff. So a very, very small part of me kind of gets a connection. But when someone challenged them about this on social media, they defended it with, oh, well, you know, it's fine. That was their attitude. And at that point, nope, you're done. That's you finished off as far as I'm concerned with the company. I never want to deal with you again. Sorry, that particular one was called Track Rust by MiG Ammo. So yeah, that's why we don't support AK. Moving on. Muad'Dib, working faces, but sure, not sure if they look good, perhaps. Let's get a close up. In fact, I think I saw a picture there that was the other way up. Let's look at that one instead. Not bad. I think you've gone a little too hot with the pinks there. I understand why you've done it for like irritated skin. MC, if you go to YouTube, not to sort of push your questions away, so you know, hit me up on Discord if you want, bro. If on YouTube I did a video called How to Boost Your Bases, and it goes through in a little bit more detail than I am now how to use these things, and that hopefully will give you a decent overview of exactly how to do it and what to use. If you've got questions, by all means fire them over on Discord, but it is a little late now, and obviously we've still got the whip to go through, and I don't want to detract from this too much. I hope that's alright. Honestly, ask away, but let's try and take it off stream if we can. Again, apologies, but no, you don't have to feel bad at all. It's not your bad. I wish I had more time. I don't, unfortunately. Right. Yeah, I think some of the pink is a little too hot. Like this guy on the far end, that's slightly blurred. The is it one of those? I don't think it's one of those. But this guy on the left here, that looks like it's been implanted into his skull, and it's been extremely unpleasant. And that doesn't really sell Marine to me. They do a lot of horrible shit, but the stuff that they go through themselves is normally alright, you know? So I'd maybe just dial that back a little bit. What I suggest is if you take whatever colour you use for that and just thin it a little bit more next time and glaze that over maybe 1 or 2 coats instead of something like this, it will just take it back and make it a little bit more subtle. As far as your skin tones go, they're good. I wouldn't be afraid of going brighter with your highlights though. P3 Sickly Skin is super good for adding into a highlight mix. That's that blue-black mix. Adding into a highlight mix for flesh tones. So I would definitely pick up some of that. They look good though, mate. Honestly. This is me just sort of being a little bit picky and sort of pushing you just a little bit further with it. Pro Jam, my Blood Angels Primaris Chaplain. Yes. Yes, that's a cool black. This guy looks great. Here, though, you could do with the opposite of our last one. You could do with definitely adding in some irritation to that face, because that looks like it's a horrible injury. Yeah, that's not, we've sort of got this mask on you. Jaeger, take care, bro. Thank you for this evening. I will speak to you soon. This looks like he's had half his face ripped off. And so that I'd add in that scar tissue, that irritation. So glaze some red down into all the recesses that run along that one side of his face. Make it look horrible. It's totally fine to do. Go and re-watch the first Terminator film. The bit where Arnie's in front of the mirror and he's fucking pulling his eyeball out and all that shit. Go and see, look at the skin in that face. This would be a little different perhaps, but look at that. Face and bases, we are up late. We're running over into the whip, but we finished our Armiger tonight. I'll show that off with all the Tough song in a second. Overall, they make great job on this. Loving that base. Nice and interesting. Did you get text on your purity seals? There's no text on the purity seals. Oh, that's right up there with an undrilled bolter as far as I'm concerned, mate. Get some dark brown paint, not black. That's everyone's first mistake. Dark brown paint. Thin it right down and do loads of tiny horizontal lines all the way down that parchment. If you're feeling a little bit spicy, then get some red paint. Do some like imperial symbols, stuff like that. Make it look cool AF. I like him though, bro. Really good job. Super solid. Well done. Well done. This. Oh yeah. Snake Plissken. I'm liking it, dude. Those hazards are quite thick. That's 2 C's thick hazards. It's good. It's good. Dark brown for scrolls, definitely, mate. Definitely. If you use black, it's too stark. It stands out too much. If you use dark brown, it looks like it's not so much faded, but not super fresh ink. Like written literally before you looked at it. So, sells it. I like it, mate. You know me, I love Hazard Stripes. I love Knights. Good job on the black as well. I can see exactly how you've done that. Looks like you've somehow managed to get a little bit of texture on those. It's a bit of a rough surface. Is that some varnish that maybe went a little bit strange? Because it looks like they may have also had either a gloss or a satin on top. For being nerdy, one of them should have black ink as the oath moment for that battle, or am I an idiot? How long's the battle been going for? You know. Should I support your screen through Railcraft? Yes, mate. Exclamation point Tufts. and use the affiliate link there. You can also use the code MOHAWK to get 6% off your order as well if it's 30 quid or less. Sarah's usually got another code that you might be able to see on the first part of fuck's sake, the homepage. There we go, we got there eventually, of the website. Probably the undercode. Okay, cool. Save 10. Thank you, Sarah. See, I knew the words were there. They were just with my head jammed squarely up my bum, I think. Nice work, Snake. Nice and absolutely dead straight. Perfect hazards. Love it. Love it. Macy. Is Macy even here? You've been lurking, Mace. Put some gloss varnish over to put transfers on. Cool. Makes sense. So Macy's got whatever the fuck this is. This is a big golden armored orc. He is here. How you doing, sweetheart? What's this? This is one of your 3D printed things, right? I feel this is some sort of big fantasy / D&D style doodad. It's Rogue Orc Dawn is what we're looking at, you know. From Luke Studios. Okay, cool. Yeah, doing okay, dude. Doing okay. We're up a little late today, but having fun as always. Let's get a shout out for Night Mace. In fact, Des has already done it because he is a total boss, as is Night Mace. Than Orc. Come on, let's get the Orc puns on the go, right? Bases and bases, getting his 3-month sub in. It's a year of top hobby. Thanks for the support, mate. Anytime, bro. Anytime. And thank you for the support, more importantly. It's really appreciated. He's cool, Mace. What's your plan for the... Like, you've got your base coats down. There's a lot of the same colour there. So what's your plan to try and break that up a little bit and keep it looking interesting? It's tricky when you've got all that much gold. And I've got 7 Custos Dreadnoughts to paint next month. So I know exactly how that feels. Oh, man. Gummer, quick shot of the commission models. Need to base and tidy up details. Looking good, dude. I love that librarian. The golden boys at the front look cool, but that librarian with the super stealthy coat looks... Rival Sarah, you are far too kind. Far too kind. Nice work on those swords as well. I see that one at the bottom there, just laid out nicely to get the shot. That's good. Good contrasts. Very nice and dark, all that's almost white. Top notch. Top notch, mate. Ex-Adventurer, this is my 4th mini whip. Yes, I did see this the other day. Looks like it's going a lot better for you, mate. So we talked about the trousers was the last thing. I can tell you've put a wash on this, and it looks like you've dry brushed it. I'm not sure if that's the photo though, but it looks like there's texture on his left leg. When it comes to this sort of thing, make sure you thin your wash just a little bit more. Otherwise, you'll get 0% correct. I was going to say, hang on a minute. Fuck, I'm off my game. So when you put your washes on stuff like this, thin them a little bit more. Dry brushing detected, always. Because you'll get less of that stain. If you look on the left leg there, you see how it got really dark towards the bottom. There's that kind of kidney bean shaped like patch to it. Essentially what's happened there is your wash has pulled under the force of gravity and then started to dry and congealed in that spot. And it's called coffee staining. That's the term that we normally use for it. To help avoid that, when you're washing your miniatures, thin your wash a little bit more. Black Rage Red Thirst, quality username. I love it. Welcome to the stream. But also be vigilant when you're putting your washes down. So put your washes on, and then as you've done like one section, you're about to start another one, just look at that section again for any time where the washes start to pull together. When that happens, just dip your brush into the wash there, let the bristles suck that wash up back from the miniature, and then use that wash in a different place. And it stops that sort of thing happening. But, good work, you're making improvements already. Heat scoring looks good. Have we got different bands though? This is much better. Much, much, much better. So the last one was orange band, pink band, purple band. This is orange, pink, purple. Banging. Absolutely banging. Steve, I'm pretty sure she's already on it. That's why she's not replying. All you'll need to do is find a reason to spend that next 10%. You know. Good work, mate. Good work. I love the improvement. Congrats. Face and bases, Diachasm Warband Whip. Oh, that's lush. That's beautiful. Big fan. Big fan. That sword needs some attention. The rest of the mini is very, very smooth. It's got some nice vibrant colours to it. It's got a lot going for it. But the sword is very flat in comparison. It might just be the angle of the shot. Bear in mind. Swords are still my weakness. Okay. The thing that for me detracts the most from the sword, you've got those letters, and then just above that, there's that little bit where the paint from both sides has just sort of crept in a little bit. And it shows. That needs to be, paint goes up to exactly this line, and it stops dead there. And then this bit of paint goes exactly up to that same line, and then stops dead there. And it's the... When it goes right, it's amazing. When it goes wrong, it takes hours to fucking sort it out. Glazes, get the hairdryer out, you know, back and forth, and then done. And then to finish, you can't see it on that sword, unfortunately. Your highlight down the middle line must be bang on. It has to be a straight line. Look at these. Yeah, that line right down the middle of the blade to about 2/3 of its length. You've got to get that on there because that is your final high point highlight, and it defines that edge of the sword, that diamond shape to the sword. You will get it wrong, because I still do. You'll get it wrong several times. You will hiss and moan and scream and cry and all the other things. But when you get it right, it's something else. The rest of this mini is fucking gorgeous. This reminds me of proper old school Eldari stuff. I love the base that it's on. Quality work. I'd love to see it once the whole thing's done. I really do. Right, Glass Joe. My print failed, but I can use it for terrain. Grot Tank? I guess. Always make me laugh trying to imagine you encouraged buying a hairdryer and the person serving you is like, for real, bro? Dear oh dear. Grass peeping between the marble and the cobbles and shrine ward, I'll take that. Brilliant. Yeah, that hasn't gone particularly well by the looks of it. Is this a print of a Games Workshop model? Because I know they make grot tanks, but I don't know if that is the same as their mini. Okay, cool. Hey, I mean, it's orky, so I'm sure you'll find something to do with it, bro. You know, like you said, got yourself some terrain, perhaps. It's all good. It's all good. Right. Speaking of all good, you guys ready? This is him finished. This is him in all his glory. He is done. Tilts, he's yours, bro. There he is. The Warglaive. You've got those tufts just in there at the bottom. Let's just up the exposure just a touch. Oh, yeah, make it a little easier to see what's going on that base now. I think he's brilliant. I think he's so cool. So I need to, well actually I've got some all tufts for you, so I can give you this on Wednesday evening. So I'll chat to you over Discord, work out a way for me to drop it off, and roughly where. Again, it's going to have to be a very short, there's your mini, nice to meet you bro, peace, and done visit. But this is the way. This is the way. That base is amazing campaign. It looks like I'll be ordering some basic materials. Ex-adventurer, absolutely. And if you live in the UK, and I'm not just saying this because she's here, Sarah knows that if I don't like something, I'm going to say it, and if I do like something, I'm going to say it. She produces literally the best basing materials that you will find. You will not get better grass tufts than hers. I used to get mine from fucking Poland because they were the best that I'd found. I found something better in the UK. So, honest to God, that's the place to go. Exclamation point rival, exclamation point tufts. Go and pick some up. And this basing stuff, this is the key. Now, this is how I'm gonna do pretty much every base I ever do. Vallejo pumice, Sarah, you've got to get a fucking hookup for pumice. That's the next task, right? The large ballast, the medium ballast, and then the money is this. That super fine sand. Honest to God, this is the key, because now you have stuff on the base that if you took me and shrunk me down to 28mm scale would still look like small gravel, if not sand, completely unlike what people generally put on bases, which is sand that's this fucking coarse and it looks like you're walking on a field of like baseballs. That's not the way it's meant to be. So this stuff is money as far as I'm concerned. Bent my arm and just bought some basic materials and a load of pigments. Cheers, Jay. Hey man, I am here to help. Speaking of pigments, if you are still here, MC, this was the one that we used a lot, and I use this on pretty much every single miniature. The reason being, it's a really nice dark reddish brown, and I know it says track rust, but this looks like some really nice rich earth. Mate, I'm 6 foot tall. To go from 6 foot to 28mm is, you know, hey, at least none of my body is scaled at 28mm, unlike you. Alright? Glass houses and throwing stones. Winter soil is another really good one. It's kind of a very, very dark, almost like ploughed farmland in the winter sort of thing. I mean, it's literally winter soil. I can look out my fucking back window and see that. If you want lighter pigments, Europe, Earth, and they do another one which is Syrian Ground. I use quite a lot, and you can work through those. But honestly, these pigments are great. I've still got some Vallejo ones that I still use. I've got some Cromlech ones that I still use. But those are like the rare situations that I'm reaching for those where I need like a green, or I need something that is a particular shade of bright, obnoxious orange. That kind of thing. So definitely can recommend these and these. And of course, Rival Crafts wouldn't be Rival Crafts without the tufts. Remember, tilts. I've got a set of these. It'll be different colours, but a set of these for you as part of your prize. And Craig the Celt, I just need to know what tufts you want so I can order those on Monday. So if you're still here, please let me know which ones you want. I'm going to get that order in tomorrow. They're all yours. So that's it. It's literally bang on midnight now. Let's go find someone to raid. We'll pass on the hobby love. Let's see who's streaming. Let's see. Last week we raided Studio J7. So we won't go to him today. Reiner's on. We get a lot of raids from Reiner. It'd be good to repay it. 40k epic narrator. That's someone new. We could go someone new. The LCS is on with 110,000 viewers. Jack of Clubs, I like Jack of Clubs, but every single time we raid him, it's like, yo, thanks for the raid. And then there's silence until somebody else that was in his stream chat speaks. It's weird. I always feel a little uncomfortable, and I don't know why. Let's see. I reckon... we go to Reiner. Or Keyline Prime. Fucking hell, Keyline Prime, I haven't rated him in God knows how long. So they 40k narrator sounds good. Oh, okay. Well... that's a fuck old mini. Like, damn, son, that's... oh my god, and he's using coat to arms paint as well. Alright, let's give this guy a go. So he is live with 11 viewers. So let's go and make him a little bit self-conscious. And when you get there, where'd you get a fresh haircut while locked down like a hobo or hipster? In my bathroom. I do mine myself, bro. I call it, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, maybe 10 of having the moe now. Just get that shit sorted. Anyway, like I said, when we get there, give this guy some love, hit the follow button, smash all those emote buttons, flood the screen with them. I'll see you guys on the Hellstorm stream tomorrow night at 6, or back here on Tuesday. We're probably painting Belisarius Core. It's going to be fun. Peace out, everyone. See you soon.